Here is the carpenter shop, built in 1815.
Did you tell them where we're at?
No, I didn't.
So turn around, we'll do a little quick thing. Hello guys, today's July 2nd, 2021, and we are at the Shaker Village in Pleasant Hill, Kentucky. And we're just going to do a little walking tour, a little self-guided walking tour, and show you some of the neat old, there's about, what, 30 structures?
Yeah, 30-something.
That have been restored. And there are originally over 200 in this Shaker Village. But so we're going to just be taking a little walking tour today. Come along and see what we see. But wouldn't this be nice just to walk?
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're going to do.
No, I mean like if you lived in this area.
And there's the carpenter shop.
I'm just stopping.
Oh, dude, that's what you're supposed to. Up here's another board. Look at that.
Should we tell them a little bit about the Shakers?
Sure.
The Shakers were a break off of the Quakers. The big difference between the Quakers and the Shakers believed in dancing. If you dance, that it would take away the evil spirits. They also believed that celibacy was key to their religion. Unfortunately, because they didn't feel the need to procreate, there's only 2 or 3 Shakers left in the U.S. at this point in time. Their original leader was Mother Ann Lee. She hailed from England. She thought she was the second coming of Jesus Christ. And that was her father in England forced her to marry. She had 4 children. They all died in infancy. And so that really kind of soured her on having any more kids. And that's kind of where the celibacy came in, is that she wasn't really interested in any sexual relations. Well, they came to the U.S., originally to New York. And then they eventually broke off into several different colonies throughout the U.S. They ended up here in Pleasant Hill, Kentucky. At one point in time, there were over 200 structures. The Shakers are known for their architecture, their simplicity in architecture. They were also creators, inventors. They invented things like the circular saw, the clothespin, and the a washing machine. One of the others was a water pump that they used, and it was all horse-driven power. But even when they sold all their produce, typically because of the quality of their produce, the quality of the goods, they did a lot of brooms and things. They used to got like a third more when they sold it, just simply because of the quality. So we're just going to continue to walk around, but that's a little brief history of the Quakers. The last resident of this Pleasant Hill branch was 1923. Sister Mary Settles was the last known Quaker in this area, and they went a renovation or restoration period. I believe it was in the 60s, 1968, and but we thought you'd just enjoy.
Okay, guys, the meeting house was built in 1820, and it was the spiritual heart and center of the community upon its completion in 1820. Sometimes when they assembled at the meeting house as they came in, they was so full of the power of God that the meeting house would tremble like an earthquake.
So they were having a party.
They were jumping and dancing.
But you know, one of the things they did in the architecture, they did a lot of open concept. And we're going to see when we take a tour later on of the center, is that you'll see don't have a lot of columns inside, a lot of broken down rooms. They like the open, and there's the geese going up through there. So
Yeah, and there are ducks and everything
yeah,
around
so we're
here.
going to see a lot of wildlife. We're going to venture down on the farm later on.
And the center house here was where the leaders stayed.
But one good quick thing about the grounds here, there's like 3,000 acres that you can take a tour of. You can do, they got equestrian, they've got like I think a river cruise. They even have a, you can stay in some of the property here overnight. It looked like it was about $115 per night. And they have a restaurant. They actually have a gift shop too, where they did a lot of preserves. So there's a lot of things to do here. Hiking and walking. I think they had like 26 miles of hiking and walking trails. So.
Hi.
There's a little bit for all to see here.
They finished that in 1820.
A year later.
And guys, on any of this video, you can pause it to read the boards. But 1821, it was a ministry workshop.
This is the water.
And as I said once again, be sure to pause so you can read the storyboards.
But these guys were really innovators when it came to water. So it was built to store water that was pumped uphill from a spring 1/2 mile north of here. And again, it was horse driven. 1 horsepower, probably 2 horsepower or more.
I zoomed on that. That was the post office and craft shop. So, and I got to get my paper out to tell you any information.
You fold that back and you can...
Yeah, do that. Does it even have it on there?
16, 14.
16?
14 it said. It's 14, post office.
Oh, 14. 18, 13.
We'll come over here and look at this and we'll go across it.
Okay. This was
East family.
the East family building.
So each spiritual family had 60 to 100 members.
And guys, pause if you want to read. Let's go and see when this jewel was built.
It says it right here.
When was
1845.
1845?
I think it's on the map here, baby.
God, this is a pretty place. And next will be the farms.
1845.
And just a correction, this was the shop that the East family worked at. And there was their living house further up, which we'll be going by
We'll see the
later.
front of it here in a minute.
Okay, guys, since this was a bunch of hippies out here, kind of communal living, and without the sex, this was a cultivation farm, I guess. And
Looks like they grew a little bit of everything.
they did grow a little bit of everything. And very pretty, though, very pretty place. Okay, guys, here is the East family dwelling. This is also a motel where if you want to stay, you can rent rooms here. And it was built in 1817. I don't know if you can see the sign up there, but this is where the family lived. So, you know that they had to take the people and separate them. So the women worked in this shop and the men worked in the other shop. So, well, they definitely work to keep the
The Shakers
sexes separated.
They were very big on equal opportunity. Men and women had equal roles, equal responsibility within the community.
Yeah, from what we read, they voted on everything.
Well, the Sister Mary, and Sister Mary Settles got to actually vote after the
women's suffrage.
The women's suffrage went through. They say she voted a straight Democrat ticket. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, just a thing.
When was this one built?
This one was built in 1855.
1855.
About 10 years after the Brethren's house. And about 38 years after the dwelling here. Built in
Okay.
1835. This is the East Family Wash House.
The wash house is the wash house. It's to do laundry.
Laundry, not wash yourself.
Now don't wash your stinking self here. This was the and Paul's the board their washing is done by horsepower and the ironing by weights and rollers without the application of heat. The operation is simple, expedient, and effective. So there you go.
That's a nice laundry room.
Big, 1835. And over here, we kind of have an idea. We had looked on the map. And this
This is the Cooper's shop.
the Cooper shop. What was a Cooper, may I ask?
I don't know. I know what a cobbler is.
Yeah, I'm a cobbler. A Cooper. What the Cooper's coop, I guess, would be the thing. And
I'd say it's what you used as,
I don't know, a Cooper.
a residence now.
I know
but
what a cobbler
you
is.
know what a cobbler is.
I know what
You're a cobbler.
because I'm a cobbler. But maybe not so much a Cooper. Oh, this has been relocated.
Oh, here in 1847.
It says open.
Overnight. Oh, yeah, what's this?
I don't know.
There we go.
Oh, look at this. See, some of these rooms are kind of hard because some of them guests stay in. And
But look at this. This is one that's classic of the Shaker, where there's storage. Look how they put the pegs up here on the wall,
yeah,
and they would store their chairs that they made all around the room. And this is what they're known for, is the simple style of furniture.
that's still used today.
Coopering is the name given to the production of wooden storage vessels comprised of shaped or staves. Items such as barrels, casks, buckets, and pails were constructed by Shaker brothers who worked in the shop. So there is a cooper.
There we know what a cooper
Now
is.
we know what a cooper is.
It would have been easier if they'd have said a barrel maker. And guys, like I said, if you really want to read all this, pause it.
I don't think we've passed this yet, have we?
Yes.
Did we?
Mhm.
Ministries Workshop?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they had their own little privy, huh? The West family.
Yeah. Yeah, they're notched.
I like how they expose that for us
To
look
show
at.
you.
Uh-huh.
When we go to the one at 10:30,
Mm-hmm.
you can go all the way up to the top floor. You can see in it, I think.
Yeah, it's about 9:55 now, just to give you a heads up. So this is where we're at now, the cooper shop. It had
Yeah.
fallen into disrepair. Can you find the extra set of doors? Well, we came in here. Mhm.
Well, they got me looking.
And then, see, they show you on the back side of the East family dwelling, it shows you the floor plan
Mm-hmm.
with all the bedrooms and stuff. Oh, and here's the, it's kind of cool. This is where they make their brooms. And they've got some examples in here of the brooms. This is the broom cutter. There's some old tools. Reaping hooks and hand tools. Specialized tools to harvest and refine hemp, which is material shakers used to use to make their brooms.
The bells are ringing.
It's 10 o'clock. I like this. If you're a shaker song, I will sweep, I will sweep, I will sweep my Zion clean, 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 clean. Clean, 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 clean.
1845.
What is this? This is a broom press.
Broom press.
Look at this. Deny thy temptation, which
Deny
basically
thy
don't
touch.
touch.
Thrasher.
Sure. We need to put this on our refrigerator at the house.
What is this? A broom press.
Our broom press.
Okay. And another.
Right here, broom production increased dramatically in 47. They actually usually had 100 acres planted in broom corn. I didn't even know broom corn was a crop. And at the peak sold over 20,000 brooms annually. Wow.
They were a true production outfit.
They were.
There's yet another Shaker song. I will sweep as I go. I will sweep as I go. For thy mother bids me, and it is my delight.
All righty then.
The flat broom.
Which is
That right there.
they got a pot scrubber. All those little things are pot scrubbers.
Pot scrubbers.
We saw those in the gift shop.
Yeah, we did.
Heaven and earth are threads of one loom. Look at this hat. You need to do that hat.
I'd wear that.
I have to say Shaker style is one of my favorite styles, just simply because it's simple. Look at the hanger, the wood hanger.
Yeah, and there's her little boxes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have a manifesto.
Yeah. Yeah, it always scares me when I read manifestos. A transom winter.
Oh, it's right here. Above your head. Right here to your right.
Yeah.
And this was the blue door. It is unobservable as it faced an annex stairwell. This gives us a hint of the brighter colors they likely used on their woodwork.
Look at that.
Look at this rug over here. This was actually found on site in the 60s. And they say they don't know why the word good was written there. But this gives you an idea of their craftsmanship. The looming.
Okay, guys. We're moving on. Okay. The Brethren's bathhouse. Guess they'd heat the water. It's okay. Just leave it open until we walk out.
So was this like a steam bath?
Well,
I guess they had the...
I think you heated your water, you sat down,
Uh-huh.
and just poured water over you. It's got a pump outside.
Look at these floors.
So,
They got a place to hang all their, they love the little
hooks.
hooks.
Always wash your ears, neck, and feet as often as once a week.
Built in 1860. So they would quit work on no later than 5 o'clock on Saturday, so they'd have time to get a good scrubbing for church on Sunday.
If you was working in warm weather and engaged in dirty work, you should definitely wash once a week.
Whether you needed it or not.
To water access and use, including wells, cisterns, ponds, washhouses, bathhouse, spring, and even privies.
Fascinating.
Fascinating, guys.
It is 1833.
Here is the water house. 1833, Donna said, so. There it is.
Ain't that something? In 1833, they said, "We have no doubt, but we are more conveniently furnished with water than any other society in the Western country." The water tank could hold up to 4,500 gallons. The current water tank is a reproduction installed in 1926. The last tank made for the Shakers was completed in 1871. The wooden tank needs to be replaced about every 10 years. That is interesting.
And they got it blocked.
They
So
got it blocked.
you can see, though, you could walk all the way up to the top.
Look at the stone.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Look at the timber to hold that load.
Those are as big as like railroad ties, aren't
Mm-hmm. Look at this. Look how thick them windows are. That is probably, that windowsill is probably, I want to say 18 inches, maybe 24, somewhere in there. And that's all of them in here.
they? These were called retiring rooms instead of bedrooms. and sisters. They turned over most possessions to their family. So they had somebody come to be the caretaker,
Mm-hmm.
check to make sure they were using the furniture properly. I mean, this just makes me love the Shaker style even more, you know, of furniture.
Yes.
When you work on that.
Built in order.
What was this?
Closets.
Closet. Wow. Look, I guess with the shoes down here.
Tidy and clean. Yep. And look, they actually put a window in to shine light from the rooms with the windows.
So the Shakers believe that achieving heaven on earth required them to keep their surroundings tidy and clean.
Tidy. Yep.
It's built with so durable materials that one not supposed to stand 1,000 years unless it was shaken down by an earthquake.
Oh yeah, these walls are, I say they're 18 to 24 inches thick or more.
I love the floors. You wanna walk down and get these other rows on your back, or there's one right there. There's something.
Okay, here it comes. I think we're in the basement.
This is where they had their services up at.
Wonder.
Doesn't remember, is this a school? Because this is